Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah, stuff you got to ask yourself. You got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit, sign that contract with yourself.
One short comment from Kevin Durant, with LeBron James laughing in the background, was enough to spark a major reaction across the basketball world. Joking about Michael Jordan crosses a line for many people, and this time, it didn't sit well at all. What shocked fans even more was that NBA legends didn't just respond to Durant and LeBron, they also brought Bronny James into the discussion. What started as light talk quickly became serious. This wasn't just another podcast moment gaining clicks. It became a rare off-court moment that deeply affected how people talk about basketball legacies. No game was played. No awards were handed out. Still, it stirred one of the biggest debates in the sport. When moments like this happen, the greats usually don't stay quiet. The situation began during what was supposed to be a relaxed, thoughtful conversation between two of the biggest names in modern basketball. On July 8, 2025, Kevin Durant appeared on LeBron James' podcast, Mind the Game. The expectation was a smart basketball discussion, not controversy. The podcast has grown into a respected voice in basketball media. After J.J. Redick left to coach the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron brought in Steve Nash, a two-time MVP, to keep the conversations focused and insightful. The show looks closely at preparation, mindset, recovery, and how the game continues to change at the highest level. Now in its third season, it leans even more into strategy and the mental side of competition, topics most fans rarely hear players discuss openly. Durant's appearance was split into 2 episodes, both recorded during the offseason before his move to the Houston Rockets. The first episode, released on July 1, 2025, was smooth and positive. Durant talked about how his scoring style has changed, praised the Oklahoma City Thunder after their finals win over the Indiana Pacers, and discussed today's fast-paced style of play. He showed respect to his new coach, Ime Udoka, and spoke about the renewed importance of the mid-range shot. Nothing felt controversial. The second episode, released on July 8, took a different direction. The discussion turned toward legacy and the pressure of staying great year after year. Durant spoke about the idea of recommitting to yourself mentally, even after achieving major success. That's when the tone began to shift. He asked a question that changed everything. What happens when you're 10 or 12 years into your career, with MVPs and championships already behind you? Do you still wake up every day with the same drive to keep going? That question set off a chain reaction no one expected.
I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. But do I still want to do this? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Well, some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a, great ball player or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. That's the goal. However you want to get there, but you got to recommit to yourself before you commit.
Stop for a second, because this is where things quietly crossed a line. Durant wasn't only talking about staying motivated. He slipped in a comment that longtime basketball fans immediately recognized. When he said, "Some people say I want to go play baseball and then come back," it wasn't vague at all. The reference was obvious. That was Michael Jordan in 1993. No names were mentioned, but none were needed. Jordan stepped away. Jordan took a break. Jordan didn't stay on the floor nonstop. Durant didn't stop there. He quickly shifted to praising the opposite approach, players who never walked away, who stayed in the league year after year without interruption. Everyone listening knew exactly who he was pointing to, and so did the audience watching at home. The contrast was crystal clear. Jordan left and returned later. LeBron James, on the other hand, has played 22 straight seasons at an elite level and is heading into season 23. Then came the reaction that changed everything. LeBron burst into loud laughter. According to reports, he couldn't stop giggling as Durant's comment landed. That laughter instantly altered how the moment felt. What might have stayed a calm discussion suddenly came across as disrespectful to many fans. In that instant, a normal podcast turned into a cultural flashpoint. Steve Nash tried to keep things moving, but once clips hit social media, the conversation was no longer in his control. By July 9, 2025, the video was everywhere. X, YouTube, and other platforms exploded with millions of views. The basketball world split in two. Some fans saw harmless talk, a comparison of different paths to greatness, with Durant highlighting long-term commitment rather than taking a shot. Others, especially those protective of Jordan's legacy, saw something far more serious. What many felt was ignored was the deeply personal reason behind Jordan's first retirement. In 1993, Michael Jordan's father, James R. Jordan Sr., was killed during a robbery in North Carolina. The loss devastated him. Jordan had always described his father as his closest support system and strongest influence. When Jordan officially stepped away from basketball on October 6, 1993, exhaustion was the public reason, but those close to him knew the emotional toll was overwhelming, even after 3 straight championships with the Bulls. His father had always dreamed of seeing Michael play professional baseball. After his death, that dream took on a powerful meaning. That context is why so many fans felt the laughter crossed a line. Jordan didn't leave basketball on a whim. Baseball wasn't a random detour. It was personal. His father had introduced him to the game, believed in his ability, and encouraged him to pursue it. Their final conversations reportedly included serious talks about giving baseball a real chance. So when Jordan signed a minor league deal with the Chicago White Sox organization in February 1994 and played for teams like the Birmingham Barons, it wasn't about avoiding competition or taking a break. It was about grief, healing, and honoring his father. Yes, his baseball stats were modest, hitting around .200 in the minors. But people who lived through that time understood what it truly represented. It wasn't an escape. It was a tribute and a way to keep moving forward during unimaginable loss. That's why Durant's comment, paired with LeBron's laughter, struck such a nerve. The online reaction was immediate and harsh. One viral post summed it up plainly, saying Jordan played baseball because it was his father's favorite sport and how he dealt with losing his best friend. Another post accused Durant of taking an unnecessary shot at MJ when the situation had nothing to do with basketball and everything to do with family. One widely shared thread pushed the contrast even further, pointing out that some players lose a parent and chase a childhood dream, while others join a 73-win team. That line reopened old criticism of Durant's career decisions and poured fuel on an already raging fire. Starting July 10, 2025, Durant tried to cool things down. He responded on X, saying he never meant disrespect. He praised Jordan, even mentioning that he owns over $1 million worth of Jordan sneakers. He acknowledged that Jordan stepped away in 1993, 1998, and 2003, yet still stands as the greatest ever. Durant explained that he respects both paths, Jordan's dominance and LeBron's unmatched longevity, and said fans focus on individuals while he simply loves the game. For many people, though, the explanation came too late. The clip had already gone viral. The laughter had already been heard. And the internet wasn't ready to let it go. Then the legends fired back. If Durant and LeBron expected the situation to fade away, they were mistaken. Former players, analysts, and outspoken Jordan supporters stepped in and refused to let the moment pass. The first strong response came from Brown, an unexpected but meaningful voice. Brown was the #1 pick in the 2001 NBA draft, selected by Michael Jordan himself when Jordan was running the Washington Wizards. His career never lived up to expectations, and he spent years being mocked across basketball media, but now, he had something to say.
AD, who ran from OKC like a bat out of hell. Not only did he run from the grind and the commitment of trying to win for an organization that didn't really win nothing at all, you ran to the team that whooped your ass. That's like Jordan running to the Pistons, man. That's like Michael Jordan running to the Pistons or the Celtics. You ran to the dudes that put their goon down on you. Then you ran to Brooklyn. When things got hard in Brooklyn, what did you do? You ran again. But you're talking about committing to the grind? What are you even talking about?
Jordan was averaging 30 10 times in his career, played all 82 games 9 times, 9 times an all-NBA first-team defensive player, a defensive player of the year, okay, a 6-time champion, a 6-time NBA Finals MVP, a 5-time MVP of the league, and in your 22nd or 23rd year, you still chasing. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I think it's obvious who the GOAT is. In my estimation, you don't like me because you see me calling it like I see it. You're not Michael Jordan. You're not the GOAT. You did choke in an NBA Finals. 4 consecutive fourth quarters in an NBA Finals. This man was scoring 4 points. One game, he scored 0 points. in the NBA Finals fourth quarter with Jason Terry or J.J. Barea guarding you. There is no explanation for that to anybody who knows basketball. That's a choke job.
Stephen A. also addressed the elephant in the room that Jordan loyalists always point to.